Hello and welcome, YouTube fans, friends, new recruits, and veterans to the channel. Once again, it's Grand Tactician, the Civil War, with me, your humble and gracious player host, Bank 60s. We're entering late spring 1862 now. The Union forces are on the advance once more. On June 13th in Kentucky, Federal forces scored a major victory at the Battle of Lexington, where General George B. McClellan's Army of Kentucky soundly defeated a ragtag army of rebels under the command of CSA General Samuel Cooper. Now, from Virginia to the Mississippi River and southern Missouri, Union forces are bolstered, poised and ready to advance further into the Confederacy. Also, Confederate corps under Stonewall Jackson's Army of Virginia remain scattered and many isolated far to the north and away from Richmond. It may present a tempting opportunity. If you've enjoyed this Union campaign series, I'd ask you to please click the thumbs up button and leave a comment. It helps the video, helps the channel, and it helps this great game, Grand Tactician, the Civil War. You can also subscribe to my channel, Alternate History Gaming. All right, let's dive in. All right, yes, running them off. There goes the Army of the Oconee following the success at the Battle of Lexington. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go ahead and move McClellan into Lexington. Let's occupy all this ground here. I want to re-link up all of the supply. I want to get that fort supplied again. Get this good here. We'll get rid of this army soon enough. Yeah, y'all run. Y'all run back across the river there. Okay, we're going to take the Army's cavalry. We're going to detach. I'm just going to get them to the river for now. And then, overnight, there is one thing I love doing, and that is handling accommodations following the success. Of course, Colonel Alfred Gibbs, his cavalry was key to the victory, so we're going to promote him. Oop. Fame is increasing, however, the promotion may end up being a problem for him in the longer run. You know, we'll see. Hunt gained a star, so I think we could promote him to a brigadier general. He charged through the rear of the enemy forces there at the Battle of Lexington. And he caused, I think it was 2 or 3 other units to break and rout. And then he himself routed through the rear of the enemy line, causing some disruption. That was fantastic. Look at this, Captain George Sykes artillery battery. Ooh, he's got 2 stars now. They inflicted 51 casualties from their position kind of near the infantry on that little ridge there, firing down on the trapped Confederate troops. So, we'll promote him, Major George Sykes. All right, now the Army of Kentucky. Beatty and Wallace did really a good solid job at the battle, holding the line on their front. Colonel Lew Wallace, yep, he gets a promotion. Wow, Colonel Lewis Hunt's brigade inflicted 1,101 casualties while suffering just 184. What are they now? They're called inexperienced. They've got their... Oh, I know what happened here too. This was, I think, Reno, and he got wounded. So now it's under Colonel Hunt. McClellan, oh, his fame is rising. Ha ha ha. It's a good victory for him. I'm fine being nice to George B. McClellan, by the way. Let's take Getty's brigade. And let's split it off. And let's take it back over here. Now let's just begin consolidating control here in central Kentucky. All we have to worry about or deal with is this Army of Tennessee that remains up here in Covington, losing strength by the day. they're isolated. They tried a nice little flanking maneuver by river up to there and caught us by surprise, but I think we're going to just watch them melt away. Uh-oh. Lost track of Buckner over here. Where'd he go? All right, Johnson's Corps is still here. We're doing a lot of infrastructure building here. Maybe Buckner moved here. Construction finished. Prison camps are done. Salt works is done. Prison camp, beautiful. Okay, that'll be helpful. Credit continues to go down. Oof. All right, back over here in Kentucky, Getty's brigade has moved here to this supply depot and resecured that area. So I'll keep him there for now. The Army of Kentucky continues to rest and recover. Gibbs' cavalry down here is beyond supply reach. I don't intend to set up any infrastructure south of the river just yet. We'll go ahead and take him to right here. At least not in this direction. I want to just set up infrastructure along the railroad to Louisville and get this whole area locked up nice and tight. All right, Russo's cavalry finished building this depot here. We'll go yellow on it. And then we'll move to Grafton with him. And we'll see what's out there. I'm going to go attack stance. I'm going to go raid. Yep. The Army of North Virginia will follow and move down to this depot here. They'll stay in defensive stance, scouting. Here we go. Did have this. We've got a perk for the Army of Northeastern Virginia. I think field telegraph. Orders are sent via wire faster than couriers can ride, decreasing order delays. Okay, let's do that. We've had major order delays with this army and really everything in the east, and I'm not quite sure why. Okay, we've got breaking news. Slavery prohibited in the territories. U.S. Congress to regulate slavery. Popular sovereignty rejected. All right. On this day, Congress has prohibited slavery in all current and future United States territories. President Lincoln quickly signed the legislation, even though it does not restrict slavery in the states. By this act, Congress and the President have repudiated the 1857 opinion of the Supreme Court of the United States in the Dred Scott case, which stated that Congress is powerless to regulate slavery in the U.S. territories. This joint action by Congress and President Lincoln also rejects the notion of popular sovereignty that has been advanced by Stephen A. Douglas as a solution to the slavery controversy, while completing the effort first legislatively proposed by Thomas Jefferson in 1784 to confine slavery within the borders of existing states. Interesting. Okay. So slavery cannot spread to any new territories that the U.S. government holds sway over. Interesting. Okay, I had wanted to do this before. Let's go ahead and do it now. I want a new army. Doop. And we want to put it in Connecticut. Army of the coast. Okay, this is not to do the capture 10 forts. This is really more to do the salt hunting. All right, let's take the Army of North Virginia the rest of the way. South to Rosso. You know, there really is something we should do, which is to, while we have the chance, go up and secure Harper's Ferry. Just do this and move him up there.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Fine, we'll move you back to D.C. first. You can go by train. All right. Now, the main army of Kentucky, we're gonna finish the army of Tennessee up here. Here with Getty's brigade, we're gonna move over to Louisville. Oh, looky here, we've got this Catherine's furnace. This foundry working for us now. Oh, interesting. For those who may not be quite as hip to the strategy of the time, militarily, the most important thing is to just grab control of this railroad all the way south through Kentucky. I think I'll be able to do that this year. Consolidate control here, maybe gain a little national support that way. Also, more recruits. And then start thinking about how it is we're going to move into Tennessee, maybe late 1862 if we're lucky. And then definitely 1863. Johnson's back. It's going to be up to Eli Long and his army of Pennsylvania to intervene. Breaking news. Yes, okay, thank goodness. Funding 2 policy enacted. More focus on the union economy. New taxes are proposed. Government to issue war bonds. News from the United States government. New legislation is in effect, improving the war economy. Already we see the union's credit rating has improved, making cheaper loans available. The government has also agreed on new ways to fund the war. War bonds will be issued for purchase by citizens. They will have the backing of the government and will reduce the need for foreign loans. A more drastic measure is the taxation of private citizens. This harnessing of the private income of citizens by the federal government has never happened before in the United States, and that's something that I did not know would come about. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, hey, wait a minute! Pfft. What? Oh, come on! What is this? Get out of here, man. All right, this ain't so great. Runyon's division that was here in Washington, thankfully, by the way, now has been caught here at the Capitol by Magruder's Corps. Again, with the Confederates getting sneaky, coming up the Potomac River with a steamboat mounted corps, and then Buckner pushing into Maryland and east toward Baltimore and Washington. We're going to have no choice initially but to get this army on the move. All right. Here's one we can do. Oh my gosh. This is wild. We managed to finagle things to get a little bit of help up this way and keep Magruder busy. So now, Runyon's division with 17 guns, and then the Army of Northeastern Virginia after that for a battle in and around D.C. All right, headquarters. This is Army of Northeastern Virginia, which is within range. So elements of the Army now in contact with the enemy on this battlefield here today. We bring about 70,000 men to bear against Magruder's Corps of 23,000 men, 12 guns. We are in a good spot here. I will be eager to check out the deployments. I like this being called the Battle of White Orchard. We'll look initially at the order of battle. This is Runyon's division under Hurlbut that was split off. We'll have 3 infantry brigades, 4 infantry brigades, 2 batteries to work with. We'll have the Department of the Potomac on the field in 4 hours. Following that will be the Army of Northeastern Virginia, 60,000 strong or so. Well, 50,000 strong or so. Magruder. Now, we have here, I believe, the totality of the enemy corps. I'm not sure, though. There could be more elsewhere. So, just to be sure, I will note a couple of things about the way we've deployed here on day 2 as we've brought the entire Army of Northeastern Virginia to bear, thanks to Runyon hanging on in the evening's fight before. Now, a couple of things. First of all, to guard the flanks, it's best with this heavy wooded terrain in the center of the battlefield, really to just worry about the river crossings. And we've done the best job we can given our deployment limits to do exactly that. We'll likely move forward a bit with Hunter's troops on the right to guard the Argyle Mill crossing here. Pierce's Mill is guarded by Hunter's cavalry under Elliott. Carr, one of our reserve cavalry brigades, is guarding this ford here. Unfortunately for us, we can't really bring our army's artillery to bear in the way that we might like to. We have a vast superiority in artillery. We've got to park it all back here for the most part. And we're going to have to let the infantry just hold the line along this hilltop here. This, of course, will be the main, I believe anyway, area where we'll see action, and it's where I've deployed the most strength in our line. It's our left flank, our center left. We still have Runyon's division, some of which is still here. I'm going to move this ahead just a bit, get Ward. We then have McDowell's division behind, ready to go on the attack. We have the 2 reserve brigades under Humphreys and Dimmock also ready to mount an attack, as well as Major General Charles Smith's crack division back here. Not crack, but veteran division back here of 10,000 troops that will probably make the final push to win the day. We'll see. Oh my gosh, to start the day with a cavalry charge right into the fence of these troops. Holy cow, that's a brave move by the Rebs. They're just going to come at the artillery, aren't they? That's a savvy move by them, I would say, generally speaking. Kind of a suicidal one. Looks like our artillery managed to come out all right. But a cavalry charge to begin the day right at 5 a.m. How about that? Now, what they may also try to do is just come at this salient here repeatedly. That's not a bad idea. Okay, we got problems with these guns. So we need some new infantry to go grab those as we try to hold along this fence line. You got rebels advancing on the fence, insisted on trying to get a breakthrough here. Not quite, not quite. Look at that. Drive them off. Here we go. Baker's brigade. It's going to move off these infantry. Try to charge them as they head away. Oh, looky here. Skirmishers wanted to come out. Let's bring them back here. Here we go. Lovell's brigade being tested. Pushed to the limit here at the fence. They're nervous. So are these guys under Baker. Runyon's division doing a real good bit of fighting in this battle right here, man. Ah, dang it. All right, Baker has broken. Sherman. Lovell. Hang on, brah. He's got those Mississippi rifles. And here comes Drayton on what looks like a flanking mission. I think we'll go ahead and let him try that. Quite a vicious battle here before sunup. Love this stuff, man. They're not going to know what hit them here. Let's take these skirmishers and let's send them out on the double quick. Okay, Negley is going to advance all the way to here. Crook, right over the military crest. You got Lovell's brigade with those Mississippi rifles hanging tight, man. You got to love that. We'll go ahead and stack Tyler up right here. And we'll get Keys in behind him. They're just having to find out the hard way that every part that they test along the line is going to be occupied. Ooh, they got Bowen's brigade making a pretty nice little push on this apex here. Could be trouble. Let's have Humphreys come help his other reserve brigade buddies. See if we can get into those earthworks on time. Yeah, flanking move stopped. These guys can pull back. This infantry brigade can come forward against the riverbed. This artillery will stay where it is. Okay, sun's up now. Revs are going to continue trying us. I think they're going to continue trying to shift off to the right. And it's just not going to be good news anywhere they go. Hey, Baker's back. Okay, Baker. Why don't you take a break? All right, Dimmick. It's been broken off of his trenches. We're going to see if Humphreys can get there. Intense battle now over this way as the Rebs seek some shelter in the woods and start stacking up brigades to make an assault on this side of the line. So they're going to try this now. Drayton's brigade. And now you've got Thomas with his plains rifles in entrenchments. If he gets moved off, it'll be by a charge. You see more Confederate brigades looking like they want to head for the rear. Confederate artillery has moved up close. The limited number of guns that Magruder has for this fight. Nothing that they can do against our Mississippi rifles. Look at all of these Confederate dead and wounded out here. Wow. And the artillery fire, just deadly. Off they go. Ooh, okay. Another broken brigade. Negley's troops unstable after a really, really insane firefight against these Rebs here. But they're also nervous. I'm going to do something fun. Let's charge them. Oh, no! They wouldn't do it! They were too scared to make the charge. Alright, they'll have their skirmishers to deal with. So Wool will then send Crook down with their Springfield rifled muskets to face Drayton next. These guns, pull them back. Change. Wow, let's see how that goes. Halt. Oof, oof, taking some nasty fire there. Sherman probably didn't need to do this out here. Reform ranks, boys. Fire! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo, that's deadly. Put down a whole mess of Rebs right there. And we're not even at 9 a.m. What a terrible, bloody morning it's been here, man, for the Rebs especially. Certainly bloody enough for us. Sherman's brigade got pretty messed up out here trying to get some of these rebel guns. Looks like we might have killed some... Are those commanders or maybe just cavalry horses? But you can see plenty of Confederate dead out here. Lost a number at the corner of the fence. Not great. We're going to send forward McDowell and Charles Smith's divisions and see what we can make happen. You got a bunch of Rebs up in the woods trying to rally together. They're sending skirmishers forward bit by bit. In the middle of some quasi-mop-up duty here. McDowell is on the advance. We've got Smith's division. It's moving forward along with other elements of the army. Slowly but surely. Probably going to finish this up before the end of the actual day, before sundown. Alright, there you have it. Mop-up complete with the enemy retreating from the field at, I believe, before noon. So that was that's a pretty good fight. I think we probably cost ourselves more casualties than we would have liked. Yeah, 4,500 casualties, among which 624 were killed, 3,226 wounded, and 682 missing. They lost quite a few more, again, 2,000 more troops-ish, for a battle with a casualty rate of, again, about 10,000. But, again, we lose only 7% of our force. His corps loses, oh my gosh. That's one thing that's pretty key. 6,500 troops, almost a third of his corps, and several guns lost. I do think that that will wrap up this video. I appreciate you taking the time to give it your attention. If you do like this content, give it that thumbs up. And leave a comment. Helps the video, helps the channel, and helps this great game, Grand Tactician, the Civil War. Subscribe to my channel, Alternate History Gaming, and hit the notification bell to find out the next time I drop a video for you. Until then, I'm Bank60s. Later. All right, we got to take a look at this. All right, we're making more. 350 million. Expenses have gone up, though, for sure. Supply depots are a huge part of that. Buildings, and then you got your army upkeep, which is the next biggest. Navy upkeep, even though I built all those ships recently, I wonder if once those come in, this number is going to shoot up real high. I think I'm, for now, because it's going to balance out when we get that policy passed. This number is going to, I think, just go up naturally. So I'm going to bring the economic subsidies down a bit. Okay. Tariffs. Let's bring those back up. Let's bring them to 20%. I think our agriculture subsidies have to come down. You know, again, we're just pinching pennies here. I want to take another look at the overall picture real quick here. So, break Confederate morale, win campaign, break Confederate national morale below 25, forcing them to sue for peace. Okay. God, that's going to be hard to do. Capture Richmond. This is the one I feel like we might be able to pull off. That will dent their national morale in a real big way. Not that it's going to dent their war machine that much. Oh, here was this important note from the last episode about how Congress may become a little bit more Democrat-friendly in the days ahead when we come into the midterms. This strategic objective of maintain support above 60. To maintain political control, the Republican Party must win the House of Representatives election November 4th, 1862, this year. If support is below 60 on this date, a Democrat victory will cause national morale to start decreasing steadily due to loss of unity in policymaking. So that's very doable. We're at 80 now. We're on the move. No reason to think we won't gain a Republican majority again in 1862, not at the present time. All right, control Western Virginia. Capture Wheeling, Grafton, and Charleston and defeat any Confederate armies there to control Western Virginia, enabling its loyal citizens to break away from the Confederacy and to eventually join the Union as a free state. That'll hit CSA national morale too. So Richmond and Western Virginia, we're kind of on our way with those. This is the other one we're going to go for. Hold Memphis, Vicksburg, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans before the 1864 presidential elections to motivate the Union public. Union national morale will be +5. This is one I'm going to, you know, it's already been on the list. We haven't won 5 consecutive land battles yet. However, if we do that, we'll get +5. So in lieu of capturing 10 forts, we'll do this instead. In all hopes that we get 5 victories in a row. We'd planned on doing this anyway, where we just target their armies, attack them, and go. Connecticut, infantry. We're going to go with smaller units on this. Good. Let's bring in some more from Pennsylvania. We can do some from Rhode Island. Four infantry brigades, 2 batteries of artillery. We'll do a third. That helps. Good. That way we've got a nice combined arms force there. And we'll be ready to move them against the Deep South and the Salt. All right, Army of the Mississippi. Let's reinforce it, huh? Under Major General George Cadwalader. Let's add a new division. This will be under Colonel William Bull Nelson. No, we don't want a colonel in there. We'll put Major General Sanford in command. Okay. Pretty quality commander, I hear. I like this guy. I think he might have gotten wounded. All right, so let's reinforce from... Let's bring those California troops in. Eh? We'll do a couple of medium-sized brigades. Doop. And they'll look fancy. Two California brigades, fancy ones. Boop. Can bring some more troops in from Indiana. Along with some more artillery. We'll make these big batteries. Good. After they collect all those reinforcements.